Martin Luther by Savannah Qualls and Brooke L.
Martin Luther was born on November 10, 1483. He was a German professor of theology. He was also a composer, priest, former monk, and an important contribution in the Protestant Reformation.
When he was studying theology, he received a doctorate and became a professor at the University of Wittenberg. Martin Luther believed that humans were powerless in the sight of an almighty God, and people could never do enough work to earn salvation.
Martin Luther had many illnesses and ended up dying from natural causes.
Martin Luther started the Reformation, which was the name given to the religious movement that divided the Western Church into Catholic and Protestant groups. The Reformation was in Wittenberg, Saxony, and started on October 31st, 1517, when he nailed up the 95 Theses.
Martin Luther posted the 95 Theses on the church door at Wittenberg, which spoke against the abuses in the sale of indulgences. Thousands of copies were printed off and spread across Europe.
After he posted the 95 Theses, his opinions became a revolution. His doctrine became known as Lutheranism, which was the first Protestant faith. He also set new religious services to replace what is known as the Catholic Mass.
The Catholic Church was unable to accept Martin Luther's ideas, so the Church excommunicated him. The newly elected emperor called Martin into a session, and he believed that he could change Luther's ideas, but Luther refused.
The newly elected emperor was very upset, and by the Edict of Worms, Martin Luther was an outlaw of the empire. Martin Luther's works were ordered to be burned, and Luther himself delivered to the emperor.
Martin's ruler was the Elector of Saxony and didn't want to see Martin killed, so he sent him into hiding, where he protected him until he returned to Wittenberg.
The Peace of Augsburg was the exception of the division of Christianity in Germany. People could not choose their own religion, but German rulers would choose the religion of his people.
Martin Luther devoted himself to fasting, hours in prayer, pilgrimage, and confession. He became more aware of his sinfulness the more he tried to do for God.
In 1507, he was brought into priesthood. Some popular books by Martin Luther are Table Talk, The Jews and Their Lies, Luther's Small Catechism, and Wisdom of Martin Luther.
Luther only kept two sacraments, baptism and communion, when he attacked the Catholic Church. He also wanted the clergy to get married instead of living the life of celibacy.
When Luther had returned to the teachings of the Bible, it had resulted in the formation of new traditions within Christianity and the Counter-Reformation in the Roman Catholic Church. This was otherwise known as the Protestant Reformation.
Martin Luther influenced spiritual, economical, and political motives throughout his lifetime.
Luther's last written words were, "Know that no one can have indulged in the holy writers sufficiently unless he has governed churches for 100 years with the prophets, such as Elijah and Elijah, John the Baptist, Christ, and the apostles. We are beggars, this is true."
Created using Powtoon.